You know what I'm realizing right after I hit the record button? I don't remember how we start this because I've been doing give and go every week. And I'm like, it's so-and-so date. And this is the give and go show back in your life. What do we say at the start of this night?
You always just, you ramble on in a good way. I don't know what you say, but you're great at doing it. But no, you should just do the give and go intro and just, we'll just overlay it and we'll put in like list night instead of.
I mean, usually you don't start until I throw it to you.
Right. Do you want to throw it to me, or are we skipping that? It's been a while, guys. It's the end of March, and the last episode we recorded, I want to say, was before the new year.
Yes, definitely.
Yes,
it like aired before the new year, I think. Well,
no, I think it took us a while to release it. I think we
definitely recorded it before
like
the
December.
New year. Yes,
and then released it in like late January. Well, if this were the Give and Go show, I would say it is Friday, March 31st, and the Give and Go show is back in your life. But this is not the Give and Go show. This is the List Night podcast. My name is Griffin Queen, joined by Andrew Simon and Thomas Albert. We are back in your lives. It has been a long time. Like we said, it's been 3 months, 3.5 months, 2.5 months.
No one's counting, Griffin. We don't need to count.
It is not linear. It's a circle.
I don't know how to count.
We know that about you. I think the audience knows that about you too.
Well, you've been busy with your other extremely successful podcasts, not quite as successful as this one. And Thomas and I have been busy also.
Yeah, that's a really good reminder. If you are into people that talk about basketball and do so relatively poorly, me, Matt Modi, and Matt Ferentinos have a show called The Give and Go Show. We are on YouTube every single week. You can go subscribe to us there. That's the last that I'm going to say about that because we're doing List Night and I'm interrupting Thomas.
Are we sponsored by Give and Go now?
Look, if either one of these shows made money, I guarantee you they would sponsor the other show. It would be money laundering all the way down.
I expect the same marketing during the next Give and Go episode for List Night. Okay, it's only fair.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm happy to do that. I've promoted this show on other podcasts that are unrelated.
And Matt Ferentinos has been on this show, I think, twice. Maybe Matt Modi will be on it, but Thomas and I need to give our extremely large amount of basketball knowledge to Give. I
don't think Thomas likes basketball.
Well, you know, I'll give you a hot take. This is what you do. You don't give me the ball. I can't shoot. Unless it's the foul line, then I'm money.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I can see there being a little bit of a Jason Kidd in you, like early career Jason Kidd. When he was still Asen Kid because he didn't have a J.
The issue isn't that I'm short. It's the fact that I shoot better if I don't jump, and therefore my height comes into factor there.
Sure.
Because if I'm not jumping, I'm pretty short.
You're getting everything blocked. Like the ball's not even coming out of your hands. Yeah.
And Andrew, obviously the biggest basketball fan we know, we just didn't have you on the Give and Go show because we don't want to be shown up by your knowledge of the game.
Yeah, it's cute to let you guys like pretend to know some things, you know.
To be fair, his dad's a renowned coach. So like how was he not
renowned? Yeah, when I think of Montgomery County and I think of people's dads that are renowned coaches, definitely the first guy that comes to mind is Andrew Simon and Steve Simon.
Yeah, guy's an encyclopedia of basketball knowledge and prowess.
We called him Coach Stevie, but yeah, Steve Simon's fine.
Yeah, well, look, he's going to listen to this because he's one of our 7 fans. And, I hope he has positive feedback afterwards. Let's get into it. Before we say the topic of the week or the topic of the quarter, since this is the first time we're doing this and it is the last day of the quarter. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you click the like button. Make sure you comment below, whatever it may be. You can comment on the list that we give. You can give us your own list. You can give us a suggestion for a list that you would like us to do in the future. Or if you would like to be on the List Night podcast, you can put your name in and, you can either comment, you can hit us on Twitter, you can email listnightofficial@gmail.com. Hit us up somewhere. Let us know you want to be on the pod. We're happy to have you on. Unless we think that you're a bit of a bore, in which case we will not have you on. That's it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. I did not say I feel like that's going to get them on. Oh, we don't slut shame on this podcast, Thomas. Oh, we're inviting them on.
Yes.
Interesting.
If you put your name in to be on the podcast, it may be a couple month long wait, not because there's a long list of people waiting, but because we record maybe once every couple months now. But no, we're back. I'm gonna say we're back, and that means
We're
we're gonna
back.
record a lot.
Look, we're back. People have been asking us if we're back. We're back.
Hot take: we never left.
That could be argued. It is a bit of a hot take. That's a
We
bit of
just
a torture take.
we
I would argue
recorded
that we
probably
did leave.
100 episodes in the last 3 months. It's just that we forgot to press record, so we just stood in front of a Zoom
Sure.
invite and did about 100 lists. So
Also,
that
like,
was
maybe
a tough pill to swallow.
Maybe they didn't meet like our standards of quality. You know, we want to make sure if we're putting things out for the listeners that they are C- or better. So if we're putting out D or F work, we can't post that. We can't do that. This week we are doing last meals because, as everyone knows, there's two things about this group that are pretty definitive. We like to talk about food and we like to talk about dying. So we're going to do both of those things this episode. Our order for this week. If you've been listening to the last couple episodes, you would know that we are no longer doing one person doing a full list, then the next full list, and then the final full list. Instead, one of us will go, then another will go, and then the third will go, and then we will circle back to the top. It is not a snake. It is not going to go 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. It'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 until every one of us has done 5 items. I'm going to go first. Andrew's going to go second. Thomas is going to go third, and then we will circle back to me. Before we get going, guys, is there anything that we want to talk about before we talk about both death and food?
I want it stated that we did not clarify if this is death row, this is deathbed, we just said last meal.
We said last meal, which I'm not saying that like we're going to the chair. Like I want to be clear about that.
That's
We
what I
have
took it
not-
to mean. That's what I took it to mean. I
do
assumed that we
have-
all like became, I don't know, like just super wanted criminals that were getting the death penalty. And I never thought of it like, oh, I'm just a 90-year-old old man dying and I want one more meal. For some reason,
35-year-old man.
for some
old man
reason, I
dying.
thought of capital punishment instantly.
See,
No, to be fair, so did I, but I don't think that was actually, like Thomas is saying, a criteria.
You're right.
what I imagined was that because List Night became so big and popular, all the other podcast companies got together and were like, hey, you have one last meal and then we're going to end you because List Night is so good. So
Sure.
good.
Can we
And
go?
BuzzFeed was after us because of, lawsuits.
BuzzFeed,
Redbox was after us.
BuzzFeed's journalism department is shutting down. So it looks like we won that battle, you dumb bitches.
And
They have a
outlasted,
journalism department.
we outlasted the people that stole our idea.
We did. Can we go around the room real quick? Let's just say, again, maybe we did end up being mass murderers. Maybe we committed some capital crimes. This is our final meal because the government is putting us down like the dogs that we are. What's our preference on how that goes?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Or potentially we've somehow lived so long that food is irrelevant and now we're just going to get injected with fluids. So it's like, hey, one last solid meal.
Sure. No, but
just
I'm
saying
asking
Are
if
you
this
asking-
were your final meal, you do an electric chair, you doing a lethal injection, you
This
doing
seems-
putting them up against the wall and putting one in the back
It
of their
seems like
head?
a future draft we could do, but a really dark one.
Really, that's for the Patreon
I
subscribers.
feel like I'm going firing squad. Like
Firing Squad is a good choice.
it's like it's one of those things that like sounds sort of barbaric, but the more you like read about like lethal injection, it's like that can go wrong in so many ways, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
See,
and
Firing
also,
Squad sounds metal as fuck.
I had to get a needle like the size of the Sharpie in my knee yesterday, and I
Mhm.
didn't want to see that. So I don't want to see
Sure.
like anything going into me. I
Literally
don't wanna
somebody
see it
killing
coming.
you with a needle, like you don't want to go out
I
fearful.
Don't want to see it coming.
Sure.
I want them to be like, you know what? You're gonna walk out this door, and at
So
some
you
point in the
want
next
somebody to
24
put
hours-
like
you're gonna
an
die.
indiscriminate hit out on you?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. I don't think that's an option. I don't think the government like is paying contract killers to like maybe do it on like a Tuesday afternoon.
I don't have any major food allergies, but it would have been on the list if I did. What
Sure.
I didn't put on, and I thought about, because I'll just say honorable mentions now, was the puffer fish that if it's cooked incorrectly,
Oh, if they
like,
cook it wrong, yeah.
it could kill you. I was like, might as well throw that on there and just
Yeah,
give it to
try it.
like some student chef and be like, hey, Try your best.
Honestly,
It doesn't
that's like the
matter.
most efficient answer because not only are you getting what I imagine is a delicious last meal, but then they don't have to do anything else. Like you eat and then you keel over.
Well, it's just like, fuck you guys, I'm dead already.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, at first I thought electric chair. I feel like that's kind of like a standard, like one that you think of when you think of capital punishment. And then I went a little Game of Thrones with it. And I was thinking, like put my head on a chopping block, but don't do like a guillotine. Fucking, I want you swinging the axe. I want this to be something that you have to live with for the rest of your
Who are
days.
you trying to swing that axe? Because I mean, it better be a heavy, sharp axe. It might not go through.
The Rock, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Fair. No, good answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
Are you picturing
It's
that
probably
scene
just
from?
karate chop.
You're picturing that scene from Harry Potter where the executioner chops the pumpkin in half,
Pumpkin.
and they think he kills the hippogriff. That I
No,
feel like is
I
what you
am
want.
picturing the scene from the beginning of Game of Thrones where Ned Stark literally cuts the head off a deserter from
yeah.
the wall. Although I think he used a sword. So it could be a sword, it could be an axe. I'm sure The Rock has a series of weapons. He could do it with his hands if he really wants to. I don't know.
You want to be in multiple pieces when you get shot into the sun, because I know that's your whole thing about after you die, you want to be shot into the sun. So you're gonna have to send multiple pieces of you.
Yeah, it's not like the weight changes. Honestly, I guess I would actually, it would be more affordable if they beheaded me first because of all the blood that would drain from my body. I'd be easier to send to the sun.
Aren't we supposed to be talking about like yummy food?
Yeah. Let's talk. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that after this. But here's
Now
the
that
thing
we
about
scared
this
everyone
body.
away,
Now they
sorry.
have to, like, if it's just one body, they only have to connect one piece to the rocket. If it's two
Sure.
pieces, now they got to connect.
What are
two
you
pieces
talking
to the
about?
rocket.
Connect one piece to
Wait,
the
he's
rock?
just dangling on the outside
How
of
do
the
you
rocket.
think-
How are they
How
going to
do you
shoot you into
think
the sun? How
They're
how
going
are
to
they
put
going to shoot
me
you into
inside
the
of
sun?
the rocket.
That's so boring. You don't want people in the telescope looking through the telescope to see your limbs flying through the air as you shoot through the sun.
I
You're
think
boring.
you are
You're
heavily,
boring.
heavily overrating the body's durability and its ability to survive the entry into space.
Yeah, your body would be nothingness after like
I'm
2
not making it to
seconds
the sun
after
at that
takeoff.
I'm
point.
sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I have a fun imagination, and I'm trying to make it cool. You know,
nothing
be boring.
about
Yeah.
what we have talked about so far would be classified as a fun imagination.
Well, Griffin-
this is therapy talk.
In Thomas's like defense, don't act like your position is like the more logical one that you want to
It
be.
is.
Your
It is.
your dead body to be shot into the sun.
Yeah, I feel
What's
like
not
my
logical
thoughts
about
of
that?
Wanting my future child, if I have one, to be really good at archery and shooting a flaming arrow at me as I'm on a raft floating over the side of the earth because it's flat, obviously, is more realistic.
So here's the thing: people say that, and we're never talking about food. We're off that topic entirely. We're talking about
Nice. Let's
death.
just do this.
Let's say your child or whoever it may be that you hire to do this is doing that, and they put you on a boat and you drift out to sea or to a lake or whatever it may be. It's windy that day. They end up not actually
Shame.
lighting you ablaze. And then you just
Then-
drift out into the ocean. And then
Yeah.
3 months later, somebody finds your bloated corpse washing up on a shore? No.
I hope the child that missed the arrow does, because
Mm.
they should have the shame. Also, are you both standing? Like, I could have stood.
Yeah,
standing.
we
I have a
You wanna
standing
stand?
desk.
Stand with us.
Stan, do you think
I
you
don't
can
know.
handle it?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't.
it seems like kind of a dig on Andrew's part that he thinks you can't handle it. But
Getting it in his head early.
you guys want to talk about last meals? You want to just
Let's-
end the pod? You want to end the
let's-
pod?
Let's do the food thing. Why not?
Cool. Let's do the food thing. All right. Like I said, I'm going to go first. Andrew's going to go second. Thomas is going to go third. Let's just get it going. Number 5 on the list. This one is from me to you guys as well as our group of friends. I'm going to CC's Pizza with the boys. We're doing a full day affair. We're potentially eating myself to death before I actually get to the capital punishment part of things. But yeah, I just want some bad pizza, some bad desserts, some fountain soda. And I want to spend an entire day doing it because I'm probably going to be very, very scared about my impending demise. And I'd like to put it off as long as possible.
I'm glad you mentioned bad pizza because, like, oh, there it is. I figured it out.
Ooh, Thomas is going up
Turning
Very
into
slowly.
Terminator.
very slowly.
Yeah, I'm like, there's better buffets.
Oh, there's better buffets. There's better pizza.
pizza.
Um,
There's
I
better friends.
yeah, definitely.
there?
I like this pick a lot, and I agree with Thomas. Not the best pizza, very, very mediocre pizza at times, but I love the idea of doing the CC's experience as a last meal. I don't know how the state is just going to let you out for the day just to go to CC's with your friends.
They'll build a CC's within this prison industrial complex that I'm within.
Yeah, but I do love the idea of eating just like 40 slices of pizza and all the cinnamon rolls, and just doing one last hurrah.
I like to
I will
imagine
say
it a little bit like a Last Supper, but at a CC's Pizza, where I have my betrayers to my sides, which I imagine one of you would be included in. Yeah.
Dibs. No, what I do like is because it crossed my mind to be like, I want to eat so much. Because like nowadays, like now, you eat until it hurts. Because like everyone, like that's how you eat a meal. But if you're gonna die anyway, you can push past that, and it
Right.
doesn't matter how bad you feel, you're gonna die.
Yeah, I wanted to say this actually before I start my list. I mean, obviously we have 5 picks. In a real life scenario where it's my last meal, I'm eating all 5 of them in one meal.
Yeah. Oh no. No. Fair point. Fair point.
There's no caloric limit on
Right.
a final meal.
Well,
Yeah. Fair.
Cool. Yeah.
Good-
CC's Pizza. That's where I'm at.
good pick, Griffin.
Thanks,
Or-
man.
Or bad pick according to Thomas. I don't know.
No. Good.
I feel
idea
like
of a pick.
Thomas will enjoy my last meal. He just
I
might
would.
not enjoy the
I
food.
know. I would. Good idea of a pick. I just think there are better buffet options, and like because that way I can enjoy more than just pizza.
Sure. And
At your
honestly,
last meal.
I considered what's
Phillips.
the one that we all did together? I considered like Fogo de
Golden
Chao.
Corral.
I've considered Phillips. I did not consider Golden Corral because I think of myself as a man better than that. Which is a CC's man. A CC's man is right above a Golden Corral man. It is, Thomas. It is. You got to acknowledge that it is. It's not. It's a low
minuscule.
bar, but it clears the bar.
Minuscule.
But yeah, CC's. I don't know. I think there's more of an emotional component to CC's than watching you get the meat sweats at Fogo de Chao.
Fair enough.
I'm a majestic
Andrew,
beast.
let's get you number 5.
I just wanted Thomas to finish that sentence, but actually that was the other thing I was going to mention, Griffin, is that because we did a list, maybe was it a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, called foods that make us emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very different list for me, because I had like some shit that my grandma would make on that list, like stuff that like actually made me emotional, nostalgic. This to me is more just like disgusting, delicious food that I'm like, this is how I want to remember the earth, was just that humanity was able to create something this tasty.
Just overconsumption of disgusting things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my number 5 is the only sweet on my list. It's warm donuts and a milkshake. So I don't have
doubling down on sweet.
I'm doubling down on it. It's just, and like I didn't specify them, but I'm thinking like, like some warm Krispy Kreme donuts and just a big old milkshake. And milkshakes mess me up digestively. But again, this is the last meal, so I don't care.
Let them know.
I don't care. Someone else will clean
it's
it
gonna
up.
suck for whoever's gonna have to clean that up, which is, I assume, gonna be the case for all of our meals.
Definitely.
So, much like Griffin's, like I love the idea. Like donut milkshake combo sounds phenomenal. You can do better than Krispy Kreme.
That I will
Like,
agree
eat your
with.
last
Krispy
donut.
Kreme would not be my
It's your
first
last
thought.
donut.
I'm not the biggest Krispy Kreme guy though, so that might be part of it. But I think you can go a little bit. You can go stronger on the last donut.
But like phenomenal pick.
Unless you mean you're
milkshake.
buying like a series of
favorite
boxes of Krispy Kremes, in which case it probably just makes financial sense to have.
Unless you're sitting at the end of the conveyor belt of the fresh donuts and just like, hungry hippoing them.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't love that we both did the motion.
Yeah, I to be fair, I didn't write down Krispy Kreme. I didn't write down like a specific place. I just put warm donuts and a milkshake. But I was just giving you that, like, just like warm glazed donuts is what
I know what a warm glazed donut tastes like. You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
I see. I'd go jelly, but that's just a a preference.
I'm going a variety pack.
Yeah.
I'm doing a little bit of everything. There might even be some donut like pastries in there. There might be like an apple fritter, maybe a bear
Okay,
claw. There's some
not the
variety.
pick. That's not the pick.
Well, then
That's
he
not the
should have
pick.
said pastries and milkshakes. That's
And
on him.
he's going to 7-Eleven. I mean, he's going to Krispy Kreme. I bet you go to 7-Eleven for your donuts.
Give me
So,
give
like,
me a
no
yummy
respect either
donut
way.
sausage roll.
You're just
Honestly,
gonna
it's
get
still a
donuts from
pastry.
7-Eleven.
I'm
Yeah.
going grindstone. Ooh, ooh,
Never been.
blueberry jam. Ooh.
This is why we can't do food episodes. Oh man. Like
Because Thomas is having a borderline religious, very sexual experience.
What's
Like when you see videos
Uh,
of people in church speaking in tongues, that's how Thomas gets when he thinks about food.
I again I like this pick, but like yeah, I'd like a dozen to 2 dozen warm donuts and like a milkshake the size of a toddler. Because like if you're gonna go out feeling
That's-
crappy.
that's what I'm saying. Yes,
Now
that is my pick.
let me ask you this, because I specified, and this is going to be the case for all the questions. I specified CC's with the boys, which is not the first time that I've had a list where I specified with the boys, which says a lot about me. Are you eating all these donuts by yourself? Are you like going with your partner? Are you is it like a 7 a.m. morning trip with the gang?
Again, I assumed I had to eat this in a jail cell, and they just like
That's
slid
right.
it under,
That's
through a cat door.
That's okay. Again, that's your assumption. You don't. That's not the reality.
But here's the thing. He might have to.
He might have to. Yeah, right. Because of all the murders.
The list is last meals, not last meals and who you want to have it.
Yeah, I'm not getting
Okay.
into all that. I'm not getting into all that, Griffin. You can interpret that however you want.
Cool. All right. Well, my things are going to be more social than yours, I guess.
Sure.
Uh,
All right, Tommy, let's do it.
My number 5. It's pig in a blanket, and I want to specify it's
To the hot
the
dogs.
croissant blanket.
Pig, one pig in a blanket, or pigs.
Listen. In this scenario, I am the pig, and I'm inside the croissant, and I'm eating my way out. So I want them to bake a giant croissant that they have to then put me in, and I am able to eat myself out of the croissant. That is my flaky, buttery dream. And if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out.
So I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, hit me up.
Most of which I think we're probably going to have to do off pod, because I don't want to dive too deep into this. They're baking it and then they're putting you in it, or they're baking it around you. And is that also how you go out?
Here's the thing: I'm on death row, so it's not my job to figure it out.
So you're telling them that you want to be a pig in a blanket, and you're letting like the culinary, kings of this random prison, you're letting them figure it out.
I feel like I shouldn't have to do the job, but this is what I do. I bake the croissant, but I put a big tube, a big pipe the size of me inside of it.
Like your Mario
when it's ready
going.
to come out. When it's ready to come out, slide the conduit out, slide me in. Maybe I'm in like firefighter gear to keep me, not burning up. And then you let it settle a little bit, and then it's like start the clock, get eaten. We're gonna kill you later,
Okay.
This is
I
unquestionably the fattest thing anyone's ever said.
I mean, I don't know why I doubt your creativity when it comes to eating yourself to death. But when it comes down to it, this pick from a food perspective, not from an experience perspective, but from a food perspective, is just a giant croissant in a cylindrical shape, which is good. It's good, but it actually shocks me that you want the hot dog part of the pig in a blanket taken out for you to go in, because maybe hot dogs would be your next 4 picks, but that's just
maybe they're baking some hot dog into the crust. I don't know.
That is a wonderful point, and like I guess in my mind, the hot dog taste is still there. So maybe what they do is they bake it around a giant hot dog, and then they push the hot dog out, and I go in. That way, the hot dog juices are still there.
You made it worse.
This is worse.
You somehow made it worse.
Objectively worse.
I feel like it's pretty great.
Here's the pick is you. It's you. Like
I so badly want you to go to therapy. Not any like BetterHelp on the phone thing. I want you to be like committed.
Have you signed the petition? I'll have them send it to you.
Jesus Christ.
No one's taking away the creativity.
Oh my gosh.
I'm happy about it and terrified about it at the same time. But it's a you pick.
Honestly, like as you're saying it, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like it'd be delicious. And also a good way to go out because like if I suffocate in there, cool. Like I just saved the government a lot of money. But
Ask me what my favorite, bread breakfast piece is. Because it's not toast. It's not an English muffin. It's not a bagel.
Is it a croissant?
It's a croissant.
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 Yeah. I mean, it's a fantastic joint. I love a croissant.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. Love a flaky, soft, warm. Get out of town.
No,
Thomas,
it's not get out of town. It's get out of the croissant.
That was an exceptionally on brand pick for you. I don't know how I thought. Like I really truly thought that you were not going to go in a hot dog direction this episode. I said to myself, Griffin, he's better than this. And that was stupid of me. That was dumb of me.
Number one, he's not better than this. But number two, he didn't even go in a hot dog direction. He went in a weird.
He's the hot dog.
Weird,
he's the hot dog.
Horror movie jigsaw type scenario direction where he's being almost strangled to death by a croissant, and he gets to eat himself out as the.
It crossed my mind.
Only for him is that a win.
Yeah. Yeah, it crossed my mind to go all hot dogs, but I don't know. This is guys. This is what we call growth.
Is it?
I mean, around the waistband, yeah.
Yeah. Also, probably slightly under the waistband, but I don't want to get into your thing with hot dogs. I feel like we don't have enough time. Oh, all right. Number 4 on my list before I.
Yeah, let's hear your next boring pick with the boys.
My next one is definitely a boring pick. It's not with the boys. It's probably more than anybody. It's probably with Julia and Vino. I didn't specify this, but now that I think about it, the odds are that it's going to be with Julia and Vino because A, I'm going to need someone to get me there, and B, I like doing everything with Vino. It's a In-N-Out animal style 3x3 cheeseburger with a root beer float. Also, you gotta have banana peppers on the cheeseburger, or else it is not the best version of a 3x3 animal style. You gotta have banana peppers. I want to, enjoy. I assume that the state of California is killing me. I guess Arizona could be, Nevada may be able to, mostly the Southwest. I've defended In-N-Out so much at this point that if it's not one of the things on my list, it would be dishonest of me. So yeah, In-N-Out root beer float. I want to get a little sweet and savory, and then I want to shit myself to death.
Yeah. I like it. I would go milkshake over root beer float, but that's me. That's your prerogative.
That's a bad take on your part. I mean, it is.
Oh, not a bad take, but a hard take for me to make up my mind on. Not a bad.
Back to the burger though. I know that 3x3 is your order. Like
sure.
But for your last meal, you don't want to go for like the quad. You just think that's the right ratio.
That's the thing. I thought about it. I've done the 4x4 before, and honestly, I've thought about a 5x5. I've considered diving down that well. The 4x4 is
once you dive down that well, you don't come back
because of the way that the burger disintegrates while you're eating it. If you get it animal style, and if you're eating it fresh while it's still like hot and juicy. The 4x4 is so big that it kind of disintegrates a little bit and like falls apart before you get to the end. And then you end up with like mushy bun and just like not the ideal form of burger. Whereas the 3x3 is big enough to feed you, but also easy enough to get through quickly before it starts to get bad. So I'm a 3x3 guy. I'm sure, a lot of people would say a 2x2 or a double is too much for a lot of people. They're little bitches. 3x3 is the way to go.
So I still have not had In-N-Out. And I'll be honest, I don't want to like it.
It's good.
It's one of those things that everyone or like people like. And I think because you like it so much, like I don't want to like it.
That's how people feel about like a lot of things. I'm pretty sure I've turned so many people away from just like popular media because it's something that I like.
I'm still stuck on if I go root beer float or milkshake. I think if I'm having a burger, root beer float. If we're going back to the donut, it's a milkshake. But I mean,
Yeah, I don't think I would do a root beer float and like a sweet pastry, but a root beer
Yeah.
float and a burger, it just speaks to me in a way that a milkshake doesn't.
See, pairing with a
Sure.
burger, I'm just taking a regular soda over a root beer float. But I
See,
I
but
get it. I
Are
get
you
it.
are you going?
that-
Are you? Would you consider a cheerwine float, or is Thomas the cheerwine guy?
I'm a birch beer guy.
You're a birch beer guy.
I'm a
Yeah.
birch beer.
He is a
I do
birch
love
beer
a
guy.
birch beer, but you're not going to find birch beer as often as you're going to find root beer. Granted, again, this prison system is providing for me, so if I wanted birch beer, they better fucking get it. But I'm
And
probably
are
still. I'm
you
probably
a
still
Cheerwine
going
guy?
root
I
beer.
know Kevin is. Are you Cheerwine?
I like cheerwine a lot. I like birch beer more.
Good
Yeah,
choice.
I wouldn't call myself a cheerwine guy.
I wouldn't
But,
throw
yeah.
cheerwine out of bed, but it's not going to be my preference on carbonated.
I'm not
beer.
inviting it into bed either. You know.
But
Sure,
yeah, Thomas,
sure.
you should try In and Out for sure. Don't let Griffin deter you, as it's the burgers are, I would call them amazing. The fries are trash, but you know,
Don't get
that's
the
what it
fries.
is.
There's no value in getting the fries.
Here's the
Yeah, that
thing,
you
when I
noticed that
do
is
have
not
it,
part of my order.
I'll let you know, Andrew, but I probably won't tell Griffin.
That's fair.
If you're
Yeah.
like everyone else on Earth, you're probably going to post an Instagram story about it. So
He's not.
I highly doubt.
your partner might.
She's
Uh,
big on Instagram stories, I feel like.
Unfortunately, if I do get in and out, I'll probably be visiting Griffin, so that kind of ruins my plan.
Fair enough.
We were gonna get it together when you were here, and we just, for whatever reason, I think we just ran out of time.
No, I think we got drunk
That's what it was. I think I think
Yeah.
we got drunk. Yeah. Okay.
and went to Monster Jam in the rain.
That makes a lot of sense. Everything's coming together.
My number 4
Yeah, thank
is
you.
moving away from the fast food realm. It's just a big old seafood platter. I'm talking like crab legs, scallops, lobster, shrimp, mussels. Throw some clams, oysters, calamari on there. All of it, all the mollusks, all the shellfish on a big old platter.
Is there anything that you're not putting on this platter? Octopus out? Is squid out? You know,
Octopus, I could take it or leave it. Like if it's on there, I'm gonna eat it, but I
Sure.
don't care
Of course,
about it.
Of course, you're gonna eat it.
Yeah, but like, you know, just all the shellfish.
So
It's something that, you know, is it's, you know, if at a restaurant it would be $300, so I'm not normally going to get it, but you know, last meal, let's do it.
Let's do it.
two questions. You say old. Did you mean OLE or OLD old? Like old or old?
I said OLE. I don't want an
Olay.
old.
It's pronounced
That's what I
Olay.
wrote. That's
I
what
don't
wrote.
want a seafood platter that's been
Whatever.
sitting out and all the food is rancid.
Second, are we talking like low country boil, or you're like with corn and andouille sausage in there, or you're more just like give me all the seafood? You
He
can
said
get?
seafood. You just added two things that are concretely not
a
seafood.
low country boil.
Yeah,
is-
he's got a good point. I think I'm just
Yeah.
saying the seafood, but yeah, I mean, don't tempt me with a good time. It's
Right?
it's
Yeah,
tough.
that's what I'm
It's
saying.
tough.
I mean, you described low country boil without that stuff, but like, why not have that too? And throw some crawfish in there.
All right, you convinced me. I'm in.
All right, we should go.
You
like,
son of a
I
bitch.
got-
I'm in.
I got a spot in Virginia. We'll go get one soon.
Oof. Are you implying that that's going to be our last
This
meal?
is- I'm. This wouldn't make my top, like my last meal picks. Obviously, it didn't. But big fan of it. Do love it. Would love to have one right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things that like rarely have I ever even been part of a table that orders one of these giant seafood platters, but
Yeah.
if they do, I'm excited. But like just the individual elements individually, I'm like, I love pretty much all of them. Like Griffin said,
No,
octopus, maybe
absolutely.
not as much, but like, yeah, I just, oof. Oh, so good.
I feel like you're not hanging out with
because I do love octopus.
you're not hanging out with the right people if you're not ordering seafood platters as often as you want to be, because clearly you want this to be more than your final meal. You'd like this to be a regular meal in your life.
Yes. Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
You're right.
Really,
Right.
what we should have done is paired every single one of these meals with our preferred alternate ways to go out, but that's too in depth for us.
I could like if we did a future list night episode on shellfish, I would struggle. I'd be like, I don't even know how to rank these. I love them. So
You're a big seafood guy. That's a big fact about you. as
More
Thomas
so, more
wears,
so
as
shell,
Thomas wears his Maryland flag hat.
more so
his
shellfish
Maryland
than
crab.
finfish. As much as I love like a salmon or whatever, but
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely the shellfish.
I'm definitely in the same boat. Honestly, I think I don't think Maryland. I want to be very clear about this. I don't think crab is overrated. I don't have the love for it that a lot of other people do because I think the time commitment is oftentimes like the social aspect of it's really great, but I would never like eat crabs just by myself because that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
But every other seafood is an incredible experience.
So I actually agree with that. Like if Maryland crabs are somehow on this seafood platter, which wouldn't be the norm, I'm gonna eat them. But like if you remember on the top of my foods that make me emotional list was Maryland crabs.
Yes.
This I'm just talking about more like crab legs, like Alaskan king crab legs, or
Yeah.
like big chunks of crab meat rather than like
Yeah.
working for an hour and
Yeah, I would think your impending demise would be even more sad if you had to get through Maryland crabs on the way there. Because you'd be like,
Cutting
great,
your
I'm
fingers
I'm
up.
cutting my fingers up. I'm doing this by myself because apparently you guys don't want this to be a social activity. You didn't invite the boys to your capital punishment. You're just
I
eating
feel like
Maryland crab by
Griffin-
yourself.
I feel like your scenario is like we're in a cult and we're about to drink the Kool-Aid, so we're all having one last meal together.
That
And
could
like
be
that's
it. That's a
very on
good
brand
one.
for you. That's very on brand for you. But back to seafood. Yeah, love of fish, but I went 18 years being allergic to shellfish, and ever since then I've been just housing it.
you're a changed man.
What?
Well,
How did you realize that it changed? Like, how did you realize you weren't allergic anymore?
I took a test.
Oh, and you just didn't have the allergy anymore.
Yeah,
Huh.
I had a reaction when I was super young, and then I didn't get tested till I was going to college because I was going near water-ish.
Gotcha.
Those-
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, I like the pick. Great
Those
pick.
damn
We should
doctors
go-
stole a lot of good years from you, Thomas.
They
We
did.
should-
I haven't lost any allergies. I've only gained allergies as I've gotten older. So Thomas is living my dream. Yeah, really good pick. Love a seafood buffet. Platter or whatever
okay.
you may have called it.
My number 4 is pig in the blanket.
Jesus Christ.
But hear me out.
I already see where
This
this
time
is
it's a
going.
pancake, and I'm the sausage because it's breakfast style. And I'm thinking like the fluffiest pancake, like thick, buttery. It's like think McGriddle. Like
Every
syrup
time you say
already
something,
in
you
the
expand
pancake.
your hand a little bit more.
It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger.
It's getting
Not
it's
my
getting
hand, but the
wider
pancake.
with every aspect of it.
But this just came to me. It's made like a McGriddle where the syrup is already in the pancake, so it's not as messy as it normally would be. But
Why
like,
wouldn't it be?
I'm inside a warm pancake. And
Yeah,
I'm
you don't want to
just-
make a mess right before you.
This
Die.
almost feels like a comfort thing to me at this point, where you're
Yeah,
like,
because I'm about to die.
You need to be held.
clearly.
When I'm about to die.
I mean, I guess that's
no.
fair.
When I was a kid, my go-to meal at IHOP comes to mind, was pigs in the blanket, and it was sausage wrapped in a pancake. So why would I not want that before I die?
I didn't know that was a thing they had. Like, is it like pigs in? I think pigs in a blanket, and I think like food at like a barbecue,
You
like
do.
like an appetizer.
You
I don't
you
think
of me,
I don't think a breakfast food. I also don't think Thomas wrapped in flour.
So okay,
yeah.
Is sausage a component of this or no? Because you're replacing the sausage. Like,
So here's what we do. I just
are we gonna talk about
you-
sausage juices again or something?
No,
Please
better
no,
idea.
because those are
Better idea,
arguably
better idea,
worse.
better idea, better idea.
Than,
You know how you make chocolate chip pancakes? Like you either mix the chocolate chip into the batter, or you start making the pancake and you drop it in.
Yep.
Pieces of sausage baked into the pancake. So the pancake is made, got syrup in it, got sausage in it, butter all around it. I lay down. I assume they use like a mini excavator to roll it because it's so heavy. They roll me up and they're like, hey, we'll come check on you in 24 hours. If you already did, done deal. If you're not, we'll kill you. And I'm just like, okay. And I just start eating.
So you're inventing a new food basically, and it's and again drowning in it essentially.
So here's the thing.
or
I feel like I
cannibalizing your
showed
way
you-
out.
Yeah.
It,
I'm gonna
it honestly
open,
it makes me kind of sad because I want to envision this the way that you're saying it, but the only thing that I can think of is the way that they serve. Like, you remember when we were in like elementary school and they would have pancakes and sausage occasionally for lunch in the lunchroom, and it was like the flattest, shittiest pancakes, overly sugary syrup, and then like those watery, rubbery little pieces of sausage. Do you remember
Here's the
those?
thing,
Yeah.
no, because my parents loved me and gave me food at home.
Got it. Well, that's what I'm thinking of, and
But
this is
also-
making this really fucking depressing for me
Your-
because I'm
your
like, this doesn't
imagination-
sound appetizing.
Your imagination is clearly lacking. I'm thinking like the best pancake.
Sure.
Let me go back to let me just come at it from a food perspective, which
Yeah,
I,
hit me up.
because I don't want to imagine you as any part of this, but I like this more than your last pick. I love some great pancakes, and I am a person who loves like syrup. I think is generally a little overrated, but if you're gonna put it on one food that's in addition to pancakes, I love it on breakfast sausage. I think it's like a perfect combo. So from a food perspective, I like this pick. From an experience, that's your thing.
Yeah, like
and that's, you know what? That's fair. Because here's the thing. I don't want you in the blanket with me. I just don't.
That's
I
perfectly
don't know
fine.
if I believe that. I feel like at this point,
Griffin
you're
wants
fighting-
to be
you're
there. We
fighting-
know this.
Of course, I
I
want
don't
to be
want
there.
him
My
to have
friend's
any
gonna die.
pancakes.
Of course, I want to be there.
I
But you're
don't want him to
fighting
have any
against it
pancakes.
so much that it feels like you wrote on all of these on your notepad. Make sure my friends are there, and then cross it out so that you wouldn't say it.
I'm pretty sure I wrote, make sure no one is there to watch my shame.
We're gonna be there. We're gonna witness this. You're gonna feel a lot of shame while you're
Can you
eating
be
your way
behind,
out
like,
of
a
your
two-way
doughy
mirror?
prison.
Yeah, I
So-
feel like, can we at least keep our distance? I feel like there's going to be
Yeah.
like food
Oh,
flying
there's
everywhere.
gonna be food
and-
flying everywhere.
oh God.
I'm thinking rubber room and one mirror that like I know is a window, but like I don't let myself know it's a window. And then like they're selling tickets.
This has big Mantis toboggan energy.
This is some circus shit.
Yeah.
Like or like the fair, not the circus. Like come watch the fucking weird man trapped
Come
in
watch
a-
Cannibal Boy
in a
eat his way
pig.
out of some
Hey,
dough.
let's not judge. all right?
The human sausage.
Yeah, that's the
What a
act.
name.
No, what a name. Not
Dream-
good.
Dream big, Thomas. Dream big.
Dream so much smaller.
Big pancake.
I'm begging you to dream smaller.
Fine. What's your boring third pick? With
My
the
third,
boys?
my boring third pick is arguably the saddest one on here. It's a liquid breakfast. Of
Coffee.
course, we're going to include coffee, but really, again, this is it's with the boys, and it's also with the not boys. It's with the Julia and the family, and everyone is coming to watch me die. So I might as well rope everyone into this. We're drinking a few 30 packs of Bud Light, and it's gonna fuck up Thomas's insides, and that is what it is. We're gonna drink some vodka. We're gonna drink some champagne. We're gonna toast my death, because at this point, like, I'm probably either pleased about it or not that bummed about it anymore. Because I mean, capital punishment, that's, you must earn that. Yeah, I'm gonna try and drink myself to death before the state can put me to sleep like
So
a
get-
dumb puppy.
So getting drunk is your third pick.
Yeah. What makes this breakfast? You just
It's
said
a liquid breakfast.
breakfast,
You've never
and
had a
then-
liquid breakfast?
No, but what makes it breakfast? Because are we doing this in the morning and you're dying in the morning? Because
We're very clearly doing this in the morning. Who
Well, then-
has the state kill them at night? That's absurd.
But I'm pretty sure, don't they eat the last meal the night before?
I'm
I don't
actually
fucking
not sure if
know.
the last meal really a thing? Like, is it a
It is.
creation of popular media? or
No,
is it
it's
a
real.
thing?
It's real.
All
I
right.
just
Well,
this
yes,
this,
I'm doing
this,
fine.
mm,
I'll fast afterwards. That's why they call it breakfast.
This is again on brand for you and just a terrible pick.
I guess it could be a midnight diner experience, but I don't think they're going to let me go to a diner because, again, if this is capital punishment, I must have done something really bad. They're not going to let me be around a lot of random people.
Griffin,
think-
it's make believe.
I think you guys.
but I'm thinking of the logistics here, Thomas. You're eating yourself out of a steamroller of dough, so I got to think about the logistics.
And you're wasting your last meal on alcohol. You could have the alcohol with a meal. What are you doing?
Well,
Yeah.
I could also do that, but I don't
That's
wanna
what I was
be-
gonna say.
I don't want to be too bloated.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I'm probably gonna be drunk, getting drunk and potentially high after all these meals, or as the
I'm
end dessert of
definitely
any of
not
these
getting
meals.
high. I'm telling you that right now.
I want to
I'm
be not
absolutely-
in my right mindset as this happens, but yeah,
knowing how anxious I get when I get high, there's no chance I'm getting high for any of these.
that's a good point.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing about Griffin. Griffin's gonna be like, I don't want a last meal because I want to look chiseled and skinny when I die.
I
And
want to
it's
look like
no,
Jesus on the cross.
You won't. You won't.
He had great
won't.
abs.
You won't.
But
I
Griffin,
could.
if you're getting like a swift decapitation, a clean one, they could just find another body and say it's yours. You're like a really chiseled guy.
Decapitate that body, flip me over real quick, and then have people be like, damn, he finally achieved an 8-pack. And I'd be like, damn, I finally achieved a 6-pack.
I'll make sure that
Flip
they
you
have
over.
I'm dead.
I make sure they have you in a puffer jacket.
Yeah, flip me over. You get beheaded with your head down.
Yeah, no, I know. I know, but
Flip me
I
over,
just-
have your way
I-
with me, throw me in the dumpster. I don't care.
okay.
I
Fill me
think
up
this
with
is a-
goo.
This is a waste of a pick, and somehow you're sadder than I am.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's true. This might be a waste of a pick. There's no universe where anything is sadder than your list so far.
I want nothing more
comfortable being
right
alone.
now than to do exactly this, pick Griffin, and drink 30 beers and do a power hour with the boys, with the girls, with everyone. But I agree, it's not a good pick for this list.
That's fine. That's fine. We're a month out from that, and I'm looking forward to it. And maybe that's it for us. Maybe that is how this ends.
You never know.
Jesus.
My
30
my number.
37 days to go.
Oh God.
Andrew's number third.
My three.
Andrew's number 3rd. Yeah, let's go.
My three, Griffin. You're gonna like this, and it's probably gonna be on your list. Thomas,
I
and
like
maybe
all
on
of
your list
these.
as well. But I'm doing another platter. This time I'm doing a barbecue platter.
Ooh, baby.
I wouldn't consider I know barbecue for you, Griffin, is like your number one food like of all time, I think. But like I don't know if I would go that far, but I had a barbecue platter recently in Nashville, and I'm like, yeah, like it has all the hits, like the meats, the sides, the like
The
heavy
sauces.
the sauces, exactly, like all the things that I want that I'm gonna feel awful afterwards, but like as a last meal I just feel like it's hearty and like perfect. So I'm thinking like the juiciest brisket, sausage, mac and cheese, potatoes, coleslaw, all of it. So yeah, that's my number 3 barbecue platter.
Oh, I can taste it. I can taste it on my tongue.
This kind of barbecue crossed my mind, not a platter. I was more thinking like just like a day at a barbecue festival.
Ooh,
It's more what I was looking
yeah.
at.
Because now not only are you getting a last meal, but you're getting a day out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi Ace. Bye Ace. Andrew, look, let me tell you, love the pick. Have nothing but positive things to say about the pick. Specifically, if you had to pick regional or a particular state, you going Texas, you going Carolina, you going I don't know, I guess there's other options. You going like
Kansas
South
City?
American?
It's
going-
so okay, so here's my
Brazilian?
thing. I think where I'm going, and the best meat I've probably had, I'm gonna go like Texas style barbecue, but I am bringing barbecue sauces that are Carolina style, Kansas City style, Tennessee style. I'm bringing all the sauces so that
You're
I
getting
can.
the works.
Yeah.
You're getting the works.
Here's my suggestion. Not just the sauces. I mean, you get the brisket from Texas. Whatever pulled pork you like, you get. Like I feel like each meat could be a different region,
That's-
and that's the way you do it.
This is why
That's-
we've got to figure out the logistics, because you're now costing the prison system so
I'm
much
sure.
money.
I'm sure the
The
guards are
amount
gonna
that
love
you're
that.
costing the taxpayers.
And be like, please,
Who cares? I'm gonna be dead.
please source this pulled pork straight from Nebraska. And
I mean, look, if anyone's going to know a guy, it's going to be you. So
that's true.
I mean,
That's true.
you can help make this happen.
I will source my last 2 picks on this list: the seafood platter and the barbecue platter. I'll take care of it.
Love a platter. Yeah, really,
Okay.
really, really good pick. Just real
Yeah,
quick,
no, solid pick.
are you going pure meats and sauces? Or you doing some cornbread, some baked beans?
Oh, I
You know,
I
all-
said with
He
You're
wants
doing all of
everything.
with the
He wants
sides
the
with the
works.
sides.
Got
The
it.
sides
You're
that
getting-
the sides I mentioned were mac and cheese, potato, and coleslaw. But yeah, the
Right,
more
you
you
did.
talk, it's going to be cornbread is
Gotta
also
have
there.
cornbread. Can't
Yeah.
not
It's
have
everything.
cornbread.
It's everything. It's
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, good pick. Not a surprising pick, and like not a like. like the pick. Love barbecue. So fair enough.
Cool.
I know my opinion is what matters here on this podcast. The point.
People say that all the
Um,
time. They say, Thomas Albert, you're a tastemaker.
Number 3 is easy for the taxpayers and the government to get from me. It is a meal from Denver Biscuit Company. Sponsor
Great
us.
spot.
It is in particular because I looked up the menu so I can remember the Dahlia, which is like their straightforward breakfast sandwich.
Mhm.
You know, sausage, eggs, apple butter. But as I always did for $2 extra, instead of the biscuit, it's a French toast biscuit.
Uh-huh. I think when you took
Wipe
me
me
there,
down.
that might have been what you recommended. I think that might have been the only thing
Probably.
that I've had there.
That's like the first thing on the menu. Everything
Yeah.
else is like chicken sandwiches and everything there is delicious.
That
I've had
it
them
was.
all.
I don't remember if that was a specific one or not, or if it was a different one.
Probably.
But whatever it was that I
Yeah.
got there, it was divine. It was.
Oh,
It
it
was. I could feel my
Yeah.
organs shutting down in the best way.
Thomas, you're not.
And you have to get a cinnamon bun for the table, but really
Have
it's just
to.
for the
They're
apple
huge.
alone.
They're gigantic. They're amazing. They're beautiful. Oh, so
Yeah.
good.
You're spending $2 more. You're not passing that on to your next of kin. That
I mean, I'm spending $2 more. I'm putting on the credit card. I'm not paying off before I die.
yeah, no, this
Your kids are gonna go to debtor's prison.
this is a good pick. I mean, Denver Biscuit Company is elite. It is one of the most memorable meals I've ever had. I actually have had it. I think have I had it twice? Maybe only once. I don't know. But it's amazing. Your list so far is breakfast heavy.
I support
you're a
that.
breakfast guy.
I'm into that.
False. Here's the thing. I understand 5 was a croissant, but it was a hot dog based pig in a blanket.
Oh, true.
So,
You can eat hot dogs for breakfast. I feel like if
But
anyone
also-
does eat hot
so
dogs for breakfast,
I'm
it's
not-
you.
I'm not. So that's fair. I'm not upset about it because breakfast is my favorite type of food, and I stand by it.
It's the best meal. I don't like eating breakfast during breakfast hours, but breakfast foods are the best foods.
There's not an hour I won't eat breakfast.
Right, exactly. Breakfast for dinner was maybe the best thing in my life growing up. And I had a pretty decent life. Yeah. Yeah. Let me reel that one back in a little bit.
Not breakfast for dinner with the boys.
No, there weren't that many boys. at
No,
that
but
time.
there were 2 a.m. IHOP runs with the boys.
Oh, there
That-
absolutely were. And then once we discovered the joy that is Denny's, 2 a.m. Denny's runs with the boys.
Here's the thing: we should be so much fatter than we are. Good for us.
Well,
Yes.
right. If we didn't if you didn't work outside and have a dog, if Andrew wasn't gifted genetically, and if I didn't throw up so often, we would all be in way worse spots.
Like we are definitely either overweight or soft bodied. But yeah, when you look at our like diet history, it's astonishing. Like we are specimens. Like we should all be
talk
500 pounds.
we talk in front of people, and I'm sure we'll get that from this episode about the dietary choices that we've made over our lives, and people are like, that's disgusting, you're disgusting, who eats like this, like who hurt you? And it's like, no, this is what are you talking about? Like everything should be a
Each
buffet,
other.
everything should be unlimited.
If I
never
don't-
agreed with you more.
If I don't feel like I want to die after the meal, it wasn't a meal. So that's why
And that's why this
that's
is
why
a
we're doing
really,
this list.
really good list, because we're gonna want to go out at the end of this. That's gonna be the sweet release of death.
That's kind of my mindset. Is that like I want at the end of it to be okay with dying.
Yeah.
You're also, Thomas, specifically your list, you're burning calories on the way out because you're eating yourself out of these things.
swimming.
You've
through
created a
food.
labyrinth of food that you have to escape from.
I imagine it's almost like a double dare situation where, like, I gotta find the flag and it's somewhere in the pan.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you froze.
for the
Exactly.
All right. Well, look, I love it. I love it. I love how breakfast themed you've gone with this. And yeah, I feel good about it.
So going on.
Okay. Yeah, my number 2. I wish that this was something different in my order because of what Andrew just did, but it's a Texas barbecue platter. Essentially everything he said. I'm not going to go Carolina with the sauces. I don't particularly care for Carolina sauces. They're good, but they're not my personal choice. I'm going to go Texas on basically everything. I'm sure there are meats from different parts of the country that are better from certain areas, but I don't know enough about, like, I've had Kansas City barbecue twice. So I don't like know how it stacks up to Texas barbecue, which I've had many more times. But I'm going Texas barbecue. I'm doing the works. I'm doing the fixins. I'm doing pork, sausage links. Get me some juicy, fresh sliced brisket. Give me a half rack of ribs. I'm probably going to end up going back for more because who eats a half rack of ribs? You got to have a full
Nobody.
rack of ribs.
You
And
didn't
yeah,
have to say half rack. You chose to say the word half rack.
right,
You
I
did
did.
choose.
Because when I wrote this, I was like, well, let's have a little bit of restraint, Griffin. There's so many things on this menu that you're creating for yourself. But at the same time, like, again, I'm dying at the end.
Yeah,
of
there's
this.
no
So
tomorrow.
there is literally no tomorrow. You might as well go balls to the wall. And I don't know if there's is there a time limit? Like, do you only get an hour? No, I don't think so.
I see that. I don't know.
I
don't
think
know.
you eat until the table's clear, and I'm gonna want a full ass table of barbecue.
Griffin,
A
this is
long
a
table.
stupid pick. I hate it. I hate barbecue, and this is a dumb pick.
I again, same as Andrew's. Like, I like the pick, but like I would go region for region. Like,
Right.
I like Memphis style pulled pork. Like,
Never had it.
Carolina's more tangy and like, or I mean, Carolina's more like vinegar based.
Vinegar, yeah.
But like Texas brisket, either Carolina or Kansas City pulled pork, chicken from. I don't know. I'd have to look at the menu.
It's
but I want something
nice
from
that if you were to pick this, like your last
Yeah.
day, you'd get to spend with Andrew because he'd be sourcing all of this stuff for you.
fair.
Yeah. Do I have this right when it comes to sauces? Like Texas is more like smoky, whereas Carolina is more like vinegary, and then I think
Yeah.
Kansas City is like more sugary, almost like brown sugar, and then
Texas, I think, is like a
Sugary.
mustard-based sauce.
Yeah, and then Tennessee is more like spicy, sort of. I think
I
I might be
think-
wrong about that.
I think
they're all
usually
good.
describe it as tangy for Memphis, vinegar for Carolina, sugary to Kansas City, and then Texas barbecue sauce. I think is the more like when anyone thinks of barbecue sauce or a non-regional person,
Sure.
that's what they think of.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I could eat.
Texas pulled pork Texas barbecue sandwich appeared on my foods that make me emotional. I think it was my number 5. But there's no way I'm limiting this to just one pork barbecue sandwich.
I'm shocked that this isn't your number one, Griffin, which makes me think that your number one just might be like coffee, but we'll get to that.
It's
I guess.
not, but I will say, break kayfabe a little bit here. This was my number 1, and then right before we started recording, I switched it with my number 1, or what was then my number 2.
Yeah.
Because I ended up realizing my number 2 should have been my number 1.
His number 1 is like Phillies and 7-Eleven with the boys, but the
True.
boys have to be there and we're shirtless and boys.
Yeah, we're all
But
banging. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's an all you can
We'll get to it.
fuck
We'll get to
buffet.
Okay. All right. My number 2 is gonna be a giant Five Guys burger with everything on it and fries. I thought about In-N-Out, but when it comes down to it, like when I think about my favorite fast food burger, it's Five Guys.
It's
I
not
also-
fast food.
Okay, fast
It's
casual.
fast casual.
Whatever you want to call it. But and then I thought about like, so my favorite just burger in DC is from Duke's. It's like a restaurant. I could get that, but I'm like, I don't know. Like there's something about like foods that I've had a lot of times in my life, like a fast food or fast casual place like Five Guys, that I'm like, yeah, I'd want this one last time, just a good smash burger. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
Wait, are you going to Smash Burger or Five Guys?
Well, Five Guys.
It
Go to Smash Burger.
as a man that loves toppings, Five Guys absolutely dominates the toppings game when it comes to their burgers. I guess Cheeseburger does really more so, but Cheeseburger burgers aren't as good.
Wait, is that still? Are they still around?
I don't know. I honestly don't know if Cheeseburger is still a thing. It's been I mean, it's got to have been at least like 12 years since I've been to one, so I have no idea if they're still a business. But they had a list of like 50 toppings that you could put on a burger. Andrew, great pick. Jared Jensen is very likely to vote for you because he argues all the time that Five Guys is better than In-N-Out. even though there's no reason to compare the two because a Five Guys burger costs like $11 and an In-N-Out burger costs like $4. So what are we doing here? But yeah, I mean, I love Five Guys.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people that's like murders people who say that In-N-Out is better. Like I respect it, and In-N-Out burgers taste fresh and delicious. So I'm not gonna like waste effort fighting. But I just, when it comes down to it, just from a pure taste point of view, especially along with the fries to go with it, I mean, I'm just team Five Guys.
I think In-N-Out is the peak actual fast food burger.
Real quick, there are 8 cheeseburgers left, it seems like. One is in Saudi Arabia. The other 7 are in America, but 2 of them are in airports.
Interesting.
So it looks like
Wonder
we're
what-
doing an episode from Saudi Arabia.
Here's the thing, not like
Where are they? What happened to Cheeseburger? Can we dive into this?
no. I don't hate the pick. I do feel like much like CC's, it's like Five Guys is great and I enjoy it, but if we're going last meal, I don't think I want Five Guys. Like I feel like I want a truly
No, you
great
want
burger.
croissant covered in juice.
I want to be the patty.
Yeah.
I-
So what you want is unhinged.
No, I
You want like a bad trip.
what you're saying makes sense. I just don't like. I can't see. I wouldn't pick Five Guys. I should say.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Like I just
Fair
feel like there are much better burgers for your last burger. Last
Fair
meal.
enough. I figured I'd
I just
I'd get
thought of
some
one that I wish I had on my
disagreement on this
Mm.
one, and I'm definitely going to get some disagreement on my number one pick. But you know, it's my list.
Oh, we don't have to talk about it then. We could just skip you.
If your
Sure.
number one pick is like a nice Merlot or something like that, we're never recording another episode.
In what world would my number one pick be a nice Merlot?
I don't know, man. I feel like you're
Sorry,
getting
no,
real.
it-
You're getting real uppity.
It's probably a peanut. So
Because I don't
you
want to
know-
wrap myself in a maple syrup covered pancake.
Yeah,
I'm getting
you're
uppity.
making it sound like you're too
Covered?
good for it.
I-
And I realized that not even a minute ago I was making myself sound like I was too good for it. But now I'm on the other side of it, and I think that you think you're too good for us.
I do, but
The
Not
maple
very
syrup
clear.
boys.
Yeah.
I made it very clear. It's like McGriddle. Like the syrup's inside the pancake.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. You just sorry. I didn't want to make it seem like you were disgusting.
We're the croissant crew, and you're the Merlot man. It is what it is.
Yeah. Bagel bitch. So my number 2 is this kind of gets back to my 4 and 5. It is a bathtub full of shrimp cocktail. Because you
Christ.
can never have enough.
That's true.
And,
You can never have enough shrimp cocktail. That's a fact.
like so like
No
I
one's
mean,
ever
and-
finished
and
a shrimp
it-
cocktail
I-
platter and
I
been
wanna
like,
clarify.
I haven't. I've had enough to eat.
I want to clarify. I don't plan to be in the bathtub.
Okay.
If I end up in it, so be it. I don't
Nope.
plan to start in the bathtub.
No,
You
you
know,
don't want to. You don't want to be
I
in
just-
that in a cocktail sauce
I-
bathtub.
I
That
more want a bathtub amount. of
Got it.
shrimp.
Okay, that was going to be my very reluctant question to ask.
But hey, if I eat so much that I'm stumbling a little bit and I fall into it and I keep eating till I die, so what? It happens. Like that's
Are
not
you? Would you
embarrassing. Put it
even
in
be
the book.
eating shrimp though, or would you be eating cocktail sauce until you
think I would
die?
just- I think I
Because
would
that
just
sounds
be
like a nightmare.
I think I would just be slurping and sauce until I get a shrimp. You know,
Oh,
tail
God.
and all.
So is the shell removed or already or no? It's just
When I'm outside the tub, someone is doing it for me because I don't want to waste energy. But if I'm in the tub, it's probably just going down whole.
You guys ever get lazy when you're eating shrimp and just pop the whole thing in and eat the shell?
Nope.
No.
I've
I
tried
mean,
the shell,
Yeah.
but no.
Me neither.
What is late? It's so easy to remove.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like extra work. It's
Definitely not in
it's
a
like
shrimp
eating
ta-
crabs.
definitely not in a shrimp cocktail. Maybe if like
Definitely.
I hate when there's like dishes like
Like a fried one where they fry it into it
No.
or whatever.
or like a
Or like a
Thai
pasta?
Shrimp salad.
or like a
or
Thai food
pasta.
dish where they cook it with the shells on in the
Yeah.
dish, and it, like that annoys me. I'm like, why couldn't you just remove the shells before that?
Yeah.
And then also they serve
Yeah,
you a
it's
dish
like a
like that, but they
pasta.
don't give you a secondary plate to put the shells on. It's like you want me to put them back in the noodles. Like what are you asking for of me during this meal?
And they're sitting there like with your fork and your hand taking the tail off. And you're
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't. It,
Yeah,
yeah.
But I'm the asshole for eating noodles with my hands at that point. Like what are we talking about? Yeah.
Anyway,
you guys get me.
a
You know
lot-
what I'm saying.
I don't want this to be in the video as a lot of shrimp cocktail. I want it to be in there as a bathtub amount of shrimp cocktail.
Okay, so I'm probably going to be editing this one. I'm probably going to put neither of those things, and I'm just going to post this as is. But sure,
For the Instagram post,
Bathtub.
I will put bathtub full of shrimp cocktail. Yes.
Can we also find out what the average bathtub size is? I'll find that out. That's on me.
well,
That's on
let me ask you actually before we
Yeah.
find out what the average like depth of a bathtub and length and all that. Is there
Yeah.
one? Are you envisioning, you know, a jacuzzi style? Are you envisioning maybe a clawfoot bathtub, like a very deep one, or are you thinking like a standard up against the wall shower up top? Like what does this look like to you?
I mean, so like I'm thinking somewhere between a 30 and 42 gallon bathtub because that is what I just read on Google. No, just like a very basic. Actually, now that I was thinking just a very basic bathtub, but now that you're talking about it, I'm thinking with brass legs, like a good shape.
Sure.
Like not one that's like built into the wall, but like
Like a
in the middle of
clawfoot.
the room. Yeah, clawfoot.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I
like,
mean, I feel like that's really
badass.
if you're not going jacuzzi, which I would be interested in seeing what that would look like, particularly with the Jets on. I feel like you gotta
Just
go.
spewing cocktail sauce at full speed.
You gotta go clawfoot because of the depth you're getting. You're getting it's so much deeper. You're getting way more cocktail sauce and shrimp in there.
I almost want an antique clawfoot bathtub that was like used by George Washington.
Well, of
Like, I
course
want
it'd be used
something
by George
historic.
Washington.
Something historic.
Of course
Yeah,
it'd be
so that's my number
historic.
two.
Wow.
Cool.
So
Great. I'm into it.
all right, so
I'm very clearly
bathtub
into
full
it.
of shrimp where George Washington bathed is going to be the text that gets put up there.
Let me say, I
Everyone's going to
you're
think that's my pick.
That's true. I think I don't love that it's where George Washington bathed. I liked it more when he
Yeah,
owned it.
we can leave that out.
I'm fine with
That's
him
like
owning it. I'd like to believe that he didn't bathe in it because of the time. You know,
Did
why?
anyone
Because
bathe
only
back
men,
then?
men only shower. Men can bathe too.
I don't think anyone showered in the
Word of-
1700s. Granted, I actually don't know. I don't know when we kind of figured that technology out. You're gonna get Taryn's vote this week. That's gonna win you Taryn's vote. Nobody loves shrimp cocktail more than Taryn Queen.
Oh, really? Does she want a bathtub worth?
I can almost guarantee she does.
That's cool. Count that
Yeah.
as a vote.
That's what's up.
That's what's
All right, let's do my number one, and this one will hopefully win me Cindy Queen's vote. Brunch and bonus points if it's a Cindy Queen brunch, which I think you both experienced at this point, as far as I'm aware. You know, there's a lot that
Fell
goes
on the
into it.
floor last time. He was like crying and eating food off the floor at some point. So yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Gervin.
So
Not exactly.
an emotional day for him, an emotional day for me. The most recent one we did was my post engagement brunch. The thing about a Cindy Queen brunch is that traditionally it's not a brunch where we serve alcohol. Like I know most people associate, you know, mimosas and Bloody Marys and all that stuff with brunch, but to hers have never really been that. We do it occasionally, but not an important aspect of it. But she makes like 3 different kinds of French toasts. We do everything, or all kinds of bagels, but a lot of everything bagels, lox, and cream cheese. She tends to make like 3 or 4 different types of like egg and meat casseroles. You get some Syrian cheese. You get an entire like jumbo thing of coffee. Like the food is endless. The vibes are endless. You know, you got to bring up vibes. There was no way I was going to make it through an episode without bringing up vibes. Now that Cindy no longer commits to only making kosher food, you're also probably going to get some bacon and some sausage and some other very unkosher meats, which I am very team that happening. Yeah, and you know, on a personal note, I'm going to get to see my mom in a enjoyable setting before they chop my head off.
Hey, Mom, I'm going to die soon. Can you bake a giant meal?
She would do
Instead
it.
of
She would
spending time with me,
absolutely do
could
it.
you
If my
bake
mom
some-
found out,
She
that I
would.
was dying tomorrow, she would fly out here and make me food.
That's
Although,
She'd be like, I get around to it tomorrow.
also worth noting, I was on the phone with her not 45 minutes before we started recording this. And I told her what the topic was this week because she was really excited that we were going to be recording a list night again. And this woman starts reeling off the things that would be on her list. The fact that I'm on this and not her is honestly, it's disrespectful.
Why is she not a guest?
I don't know if she understands Zoom.
Our parents love talking list night. My dad told me that we need to do a list of top wrestlers because he was listening to the radio.
He did
and-
recently tell you that. You told me that.
Yeah.
about that.
So anyway,
I think it's the first time they've been proud of me. They, meaning my mother.
So back to your pick.
It's a good pick. It's like, this is one that I don't know how it didn't make your foods that make you emotional list, because
It's been partially did.
True.
Bagels, lox, and cream cheese. I think I even said at my mom's house did, but I didn't do a full brunch.
I mean, it's a great pick. Like there is no better cook / baker than your mom, I feel like. And yeah, the vibes are immaculate. The food is immaculate.
The vibes are immaculate.
My issue is I feel like you're getting away from picking a last meal and you were just like brunch. And yeah, you specified Cindy Queen's brunch and you named some foods, but like I could just be like dinner. My number one is dinner.
But somebody says brunch and you're thinking a specific subset of food. You're not thinking like,
I'm thinking breakfast
pasta by
food.
the ocean.
I'm thinking breakfast food at lunchtime.
I agree with
Right.
that, Thomas. And yeah, I guess I could be critical of both of you because you're both kind of like very much taking into account vibes, experiences, and
We're
like,
dying the next day. Of course, we're
Yeah,
taking.
I
have
know,
not
but
once
again,
mentioned
I've
vibes.
pictured that
I
they're
have not
sliding.
mentioned vibes.
I pictured they're sliding this food under the cat door into my
You're
jail
sad.
cell.
You're
I'm
sad.
sure. Look, if they're letting Cindy Queen come to the jail and bring all the foods that she has prepared ahead of time, because I assume she's probably got a better kitchen than the jail, that's fine too. But ideally, I'd be doing it with the boys and the girls.
Again, my
And the
issue
Cindy.
isn't like with the pick itself, because like you did name the foods and like you listed what you'd want there, but just be like, oh, my number one is brunch. It's like you said, brunch could mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. I feel
Sure.
like you're playing to the people, and I think that's wrong.
Playing to the people is how Andrew has won as many as he has, which is still not a high number from the all-time winner here. But playing to the people is what he does. I'm going to steal a little bit from him.
I did that
Say-
like once to 4 times, but like most of my lists are of the utmost honesty and integrity. Like these are my lists.
And everyone knows mass murderer Griffin is lacking in both honesty and integrity.
Oh, so we're defining the crime now.
I think it's always been murder. I think it's always been
Always was.
it's always been a murder, and it's always been mass.
Okay, Andrew, you're number one.
I imagine Griffin, what he did was he murdered all of us and then he recreated the boys in his head. So like when he says he's having CC's with the boys, it's like a Castaway Wilson, or like more psycho than that, almost like he's got all of us like in his mind. That's what
Yeah, I was
Now I'm
thinking. I
thinking
was
more like-
thinking like conservative politicians, but yours is honestly probably more in line with my level of unhinged.
I'm thinking like, whether he killed us or not, he has all of our bodies and has set us up in a last meal situation. And
Of course.
they break down the door and kill him, on site.
Also an option. Griffin drove a car for the first time, accidentally caused 100-car pileup.
Jesus.
You gotta put him down.
All
Okay.
right, Andrew.
My number one is it's you guys aren't gonna like it. It's not homemade. It's not anything like that. It's nothing that's gonna. It's not,
If it's
nothing-
A1 Wagyu beef, I'm going to end this recording.
no, okay.
If
I'll
it's
just.
an angry Whopper.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. It's just a Chipotle burrito bowl with chips and salsa and guac. And like, okay, hear me out here. I know it's nothing special. Like it's nothing special at all, but that's kind of why I want it to be my last meal. Chipotle is the one place that I have never like. I've probably, other than like stuff I've made at home, it's probably the food I've eaten out or ordered in more than any other food in my lifetime. And it's the one that I can almost always crave. Like I've never really gotten tired of it. I don't know why. I don't think it's like the greatest food in the entire world, but I almost always crave it every week. And I have never gotten tired of it. So I just feel like because of the sheer amount of times that I've ordered it in my life and like how I enjoy it every time, I'm going to do it one last time. That's why it's my number one.
Point of curiosity for you. during the period where Chipotle was going through their whole like E. coli issue, there was no break in the consumption for you?
I mean, it's not like I eat it every day, but like, no, if I wanted it and it was while it was in the news, I was still getting it. Yes.
So what I
Interesting.
thought you were gonna say, and this is why I would like. I don't love the pick. I think it's important for number one, but I get it because Chipotle, it's not the best option out there, but it's consistent and it's consistently good. Like I don't know if I've ever had like Chipotle and been like, no. Like
I
like
have.
I think it's always been.
I
Okay,
absolutely
this is
have.
Thomas time. Um,
It's TT.
but like I think it's a terrible number one pick.
Maybe an
And
all-time bad one.
there are better options out there, but I understand like Chipotle is consistent. But here's the thing: you just talked to us about like vibes and whatnot, and this is just nostalgia for you.
No,
Yeah,
it's
your vibe seems to be
This
being
is
broke in high
nostalgia
school.
for your life, for when you
It's-
were alive, and now you're gonna be dead.
Okay,
It's-
well, that actually kind of sells me on his pick a little bit.
it's not really
Because it
even
reminds him of the
nostalgia.
better times.
Wait, what if I said Chipotle with the boys?
Well, then obviously I'm into it.
No, it's not really about nostalgia. It's more about like cravings and like you said, like like a consistent go-to. I don't know.
It's
I can't
consistently good. No,
I
it's
can't explain it.
consistently good.
I knew this was gonna be the reaction from both you guys, and I get it. Because it doesn't
You knew that I was going to bring up E. coli?
yeah, it doesn't do anything great. It's just it is what it is.
No,
But I find myself going back to the well every week almost.
I think this should be like your number five because I
Fair enough.
agree. Like that there are times where I crave other things, but if I'm like, I don't know what I want to eat, someone says Chipotle, I'll probably say yes. Like, cause like I'm gonna enjoy it. I just I can't see it as a number one. I can't.
Your own argument kind of made me like it even less as a number one pick, Andrew, because you eat it so consistently that like I get it. That's something that you enjoy, but like this is something where they will spring for whatever it is that you want, and you're like, I want a fucking burrito bowl. I assume with a wrap on the side
Yeah.
because
As
it'd
my-
be fiscally irresponsible.
As
to
my
not
list
have it.
wrapped up, I'm going to remind you of what I said initially. If it's my actual last meal, I'm getting all 5 of my picks. Okay, I'm getting them
Okay.
all.
Right.
I guess here's I just
Is this going to serve as like, legality question? You guys might not know the answer. Let's say one of us does trend in this direction and need a last meal. Does this serve as a living will for like what we want?
Yes.
Like, are they gonna make their determinations? based-
You don't need a living will. They
That's just how it
ask
is.
you what you want for
Okay.
your last meal. You don't need a living will.
I mean, they could be doing this through a tube. We don't know what we did to warrant a last meal.
So we're gonna
Uh,
end up in a coma and get the death penalty.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it would be a mercy.
It's again shouldn't be a number one, but whatever.
Just go. Just finish
Yeah,
your list.
look,
I knew
I
this
get your
was the
reasoning.
reaction.
I get your
it.
reasoning for it. I don't love that you chose it as a number one. I feel like you were real hot. You had a kind of a scorcher going, and you just shot yourself out of the game. But we'll let the voters decide, as they always do. And it's a popular vote. We don't have an electoral college.
Here's what I say before I give you the best pick. I think you're clinging to life, and it's just time to let it go. Like it's your last meal. Why are you gonna cling to life?
Is the best argument against my pick that I've heard so far. Because
So you're clinging to life.
When I think of things that have been a big part of my life, that
It's
sounds
not us. It's
fucking
not the
pathetic.
boys. It's Chipotle.
It's Chipotle, and yeah, you're right. I should just let it be the past be past. So
Yeah, man, you should have just said the boys, like a good friend.
the boys is my number one pick. I'm just gonna cannibalize.
You're just gonna eat the boys.
Surprised that wasn't your number one pick. Jesus Christ.
Honestly.
Well,
Okay, so
again,
my
if I'm
number one-
already on death row, I can't imagine they're going to help contribute to additional crimes on my behalf.
my last pick is a multi-course meal, but the theme is everything but the dessert is wrapped in bacon. So that means we're starting off, and there's things I'm not thinking about, but like appetizers, bacon wrapped dates, bacon wrapped jalapeno, bacon wrapped shrimp, main course, bacon wrapped hot dog, bacon wrapped corn dog, and hear me out, the hot dog is wrapped in bacon, baked with corn bread, and then bacon again on the outside. So double wrap.
Sure,
Bacon
why wouldn't
wrap
it be?
duck, bacon wrap quail, bacon wrap everything. Dessert is soft serve ice cream, a little sprinkle of bacon crumbs,
Sprinkle of bacon, little
salted caramel
sprinkle.
syrup,
Oh, bacon.
and then hear
crumbs
me
too.
out, salted popcorn, salted caramel popcorn in there, like caramel kettle corn. Wow, that's a tough
Yeah,
one.
That's
alliterative.
not on the Thomas list of things that should be said.
That's a caramel kettle corn popcorn, or just caramel kettle corn.
Kettle corn. You don't need to say popcorn if you say kettle corn.
That's what's throwing me off. In ice cream, it is so good. So
Sure.
that's the dessert. But so we're getting bacon wrapped, bacon sprinkled, and I'm in.
Wow. This is a surprising pick to me. First of all, let me just say that you may be the first death row inmate to literally die of a heart attack like hours before you're bound to get executed.
I
That's the
can't
plan.
imagine that that's true. I imagine the stress kills a decent number of them.
But this surprises me. I always thought you were like, I mean, I think you like bacon as much as anyone. But I feel like I feel like you're a sausage person over bacon. But it surprises me that
So-
bacon is like the glue that's holding this meal together.
So the way I'm actually looking at the bacon is that in this situation, it's an enhancer. Like it's not the main part of each course,
Yeah.
but it's enhancing each part.
This
Gotcha.
to me, and everything sounds delicious. I'm not going to knock that. It feels very 2011 to me, when literally everyone was putting bacon on everything and then putting it on social media and talking about how much they love bacon, and like loving bacon was a massive facet of a lot of people's personalities for some reason. And I have such a distaste for that time period that I just can't support this pick. It feels very Tumblr.
I'm gonna be honest, that that hurt. That does
I'm
make me
sorry,
like-
because I don't think you're
No,
that type of guy.
It's fine. That makes me like this pick less, because now I feel like Andrew and I'm just clinging to life. It does not change my pick, because
It
again,
makes me feel like
the-
you're like,
the
yo,
meal-
senior year of
no.
high school slapped.
the meal is not about the bacon. I see the bacon.
I would
as
argue
just
that it is.
enhancing everything else.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
like hey, here's a jalapeno, FEAT bacon.
Describe
Here's
this.
shrimp, FEAT bacon.
How would you describe this meal in like one sentence or like 10 words or less? Like if you just need to say like my picks are like seafood platter,
Okay,
barbecue
okay.
platter, like
Everything I like, but also with bacon.
3-course meal, bacon wrapped.
okay.
Okay.
Three-course
That
meal
honestly
is
sounds
very
like
very
sounds
ambiguous.
like a fast food chain's like new like special item.
I guess the other thing is, like, I could almost be like, hey, dealer's choice, give me a 3-course meal. Only thing is, everything has to be bacon wrapped, because it's my last meal. So maybe I want to try things I wouldn't try in real life. They give me a bacon wrapped banana. I don't care. I'm gonna try it.
Honestly, that sounds delicious.
Griffin,
I've
you
never
read
even
this?
thought of it,
This-
but that actually sounds incredible.
This sounds like a limited time promo at Sonic, like not like a McDonald's or Burger King, but like a Sonic.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. And they're
Yeah,
definitely
no,
going to
that's
give you a
fair.
slushy
That's
with
fair.
bacon bits in it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing,
Which
don't love
is-
Sonic food.
Probably not a great choice. Yeah, look, I get it. I get it. I just, I don't know. I think we all
understand-
kind of fumbled our number ones.
I understand your hesitation with it. That does make a lot of sense. It's not going to deter me, because I know that I have better taste than you.
Sure. I just feel like if we had all made our number twos our number ones, we would have a lot there'd be a lot more support on our side. I feel like our number ones, we might have all shot ourselves out of this game.
There's nothing on anyone's list that I'm like would be mad about. I mean, I'd be mad
Absolutely.
about.
Well, I don't wanna
I'd be
eat
mad
Thomas
about
in a-
being
in a
strangled by a
pastry.
croissant and a pancake, but the food itself,
know,
I wouldn't be mad about.
A liquid breakfast, I would be mad about as my last meal. I would be very mad.
I don't think Andrew would be,
Yeah, I know I wouldn't honestly, because I would just get drunk. and be
particularly
like,
if it's with
yeah,
the
that-
boys.
Oh yeah, because when you get drunk, you don't want to eat food.
Me
Oh,
personally,
but but
that's
you're
absolutely
dying.
true.
So as soon as you get
Okay.
hungry, it's like, all right, put me out.
When I get drunk, I don't want to eat food. That's absolutely
As
true.
soon as you get hungry, you want to die. That'd be like beer number one for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Griffin, you wanna
Well, you
give
guys,
your,
let's
quick
So,
quick
I
recap.
win.
Yeah, let's do our recaps. I will go, and then Andrew, and then Thomas. Number 5, CC's Pizza with the boys. Number 4, a 3x3 In-N-Out cheeseburger, animal style with banana peppers and a root beer float. Number 3, a liquid breakfast, just a whole variety of alcohol. Also with, people are going to be visiting because I can't drink it all by myself. Number 2, a Texas barbecue platter, the fixins, the meats, the sauces, the whole thing. And number 1, brunch, but more specifically, if you are aware of what a Cindy Queen brunch is, that is what I'm talking about.
Right. My number 5, warm donuts and a milkshake. Number 4, seafood platter with all kinds of shellfish and mollusks. Number 3, barbecue platter. Number 2, Five Guys burgers with burger with fries. And number 1, a Chipotle bowl with a tortilla on the side and chips with salsa and guac.
Mollusk is a unappealing word for food.
Yeah, but it's good.
It's good. It's good. I just hadn't really
But
thought
I
about
agree.
it until you just said it.
That's fair. My list, number 5, pig in a blanket. This is the croissant version. Again, I am the pig. Hot dog flavored. Number
We know you
4,
are.
pig in the blanket. The blanket is a pancake with syrup and sausage baked into it. And again, I am the pig. Number 3
We know.
is the Dahlia. I always said it wrong. Dahlia from Denver Business Company with the cinnamon on the side and French toast buns, of course. Number 2 is a bathtub amount of shrimp cocktail. And number 1 is a 3-course bacon wrapped meal.
Yeah, I mean, I got to
On
give the creativity.
creativity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
creativity.
it's
Thomas
Thomas.
wins, but I don't think
But here's the thing: creativity doesn't win this podcast.
doesn't get the votes.
Surprisingly, it doesn't, because you know what it is? It's because a lot of people that vote before they watch or listen. And so they vote based on how it appears in like the Instagram polls and how it appears in the graphics we make. If you go based on listening, Thomas, you'd have at least 3 wins at this point.
That is one theory. The other theory is mine, and it's rigged. And you guys are stacking votes.
Sure.
Can't prove anything.
Yeah,
Stop the
that
count.
could be it. Probably not.
This was a long one, guys.
You've got like 17 different Washington Commanders accounts.
To be fair, we haven't talked in like 3 months.
I was gonna say this was a long one, but I'm not surprised because we haven't recorded in a while, and it's about food, so it's impressive that we got it under 2 hours.
Yeah, I think every time we do food, we end up going pretty long because look. That's why the first food one we did was foods that make us emotional, because the real answer to that is that all foods make us emotional.
Yep.
One emotion
All right.
or the other.
Well, it was a pleasure to be back doing this with the boys again. As always, if you are watching us on YouTube, click the like button, comment below your own last meals, who your favorite is. Make sure you are voting on Instagram or on Twitter once we get those up. And if you have not done so already, click that subscribe button. Share the video with a friend as well. If you had a good time watching or listening, make sure you share it. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any other audio platform, make sure you follow. Make sure you also rate and review us if you have the option to do so. As I always say, give us 5 stars or don't give us anything at all. We are a 5-star podcast. We are 5-star men, and that is the only rating that we will accept. And hopefully we will see you guys sooner than a full quarter from now.